What's going on, Dolphins? Welcome to another episode of The Extra Yard. This episode, as every episode, is brought to you by Thrive Fantasy. Make sure to check them out in the link down below. You can make a lot of your decisions. Easy over-unders. There's a 100% money match guarantee. They have a bunch of competitions coming up all the time. Great and easy way to win you some money. Make sure to go check out Thrive Fantasy. We're back after Tuesday's episode, which was...
Great.
I would say a roller coaster, but
should I get the helmet again?
Yeah, I think you should get the helmet. Go get the helmet.
Oh, let me get the helmet.
Oh my god. Just have it ready. Just have it ready, right?
Yeah. This is the greatest. I just want to say this is the greatest thing that I've ever accidentally had. Like, I don't know why I even own it. I don't remember buying it. I don't know how it even came into my life. But I don't know. It's just something about it. I love it. It's just so stupid. It's got the old logo. Maybe I'll get a new sticker too and put the old school logo.
You look great in it, bro. It fits your head.
I think
perfectly.
I do too. It does.
Right? No part of you looks like.
I'm gonna get headphones, like just regular like earbuds. So that one of these days that the Dolphins get blown out, I can do a whole show with this on my head and still hear.
Okay. So That's 2 weeks from now. Okay, got it. So, hey, Cap, what's up, Cap? All right, we are here to start talking about the Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts game that is happening this Sunday. That game is at 1 p.m. Obviously, we'll have more thoughts to share with you guys on Sunday during our pregame show. Listen, if the Dolphins ever run something like that again, I will riot. I will drive down to Davie. I will ask for a meeting with all three offensive coordinators. I will line them up.
All three?
And in one fell swoop, I will slap all three of them. Just one hand motion. Nope. No. Not pop, cock back, cock. No. I'm talking about all three of them. One line. If they ever run that again. But we are here to talk about the Colts now. They do play the Colts. That is a 1 p.m. kickoff, which is nice. We're finally back to regular kickoff time, which is way better.
What seems like the remainder. Oh, nice. Joe Burrow just got sacked. Sorry.
It is basically the remainder. So here is the question. It is week 4. Week 4. Some people have called it this. Others haven't. I want to see your guys' take. Is this game against the Indianapolis Colts at home a must-win for the Miami Dolphins? I will start with you, Victor.
Hold on just a second, bro. My phone automatically connected to my AirPod, so I'm listening to the game as you were talking to me. So, all right. I'm assuming that you asked me if this is a must-win game for the Dolphins this week.
Yes. Do you think that this is a must-win game?
I still have no idea what you asked, but I'm just going to answer the question that I think it was, which is that. No, not yet. This is not a must-win game for the Dolphins. The Dolphins must-win game don't start until Tua Tagovailoa comes back, and that's the way that I feel.
If he comes back,
with Jacoby Brissett, I have no idea what you just said, Kai. But this entire stretch with Jacoby Brissett is about making it through, and just getting yourself to the point where you have your team whole again. So I understand that 1-4 is a daunting task moving forward, but I wouldn't call it a must-win just yet.
Okay, Kai, I will throw it over to you. Do you think that this is a must-win for the Dolphins?
I don't think it's a must-win, but I do think that it's a game which they should be winning. I think I mentioned that already, that I think that the Dolphins should come away victorious with this game, and we'll talk about that more on Yard Prep at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday here on the 5 Reasons Sports YouTube channel, also the Extra Yard YouTube channel. But like, I think that it's not a must-win, but I think it's a game that they should win. Like, it would be embarrassing if they went out there and they got like destroyed, they got floored, like something went completely array, and for whatever reason they let a dude with 2 sprained ankles and Rye. Sorry, I don't know why I said array. But like if they go out there and they make a mockery of themselves, then we know that the things that are being reported that will happen Monday will probably actually happen. So we'll see.
So, all right, I will be probably on the same side as the guy who's not here. Juan is not here tonight because he's in Cincinnati supporting his boy Jamar Chase. He has abandoned all Dolphins fandom.
I'm supporting Jamar Chase too now. I traded for him in fantasy. He's my guy now.
I don't know if Juan's ever coming back, guys. We gotta wait. We gotta wait and see. Yeah, you see, there's Kendall asking for him.
Right? Yo, Kendall, come slide, bro.
Listen, yeah, send him the link. Why not? Send him the link if he's available. Why not?
Yo, Kendall, come slide,
listen,
bro.
For me, I think this week is a must win. I think it is a must win. And I will go back to you on my prediction that I made for the game later because I do want to switch it. Mainly because I don't want people to start yelling at me about it all the time. Yo, it's Welch. Listen, yeah, we got Jared Jack on the episode today, man. We called him up. His agent said he could come on.
Motherfucker, you had Jared Jack, bro. The boy followed me onto Dono's show to troll me, bro. Like I was on Dono yesterday, and he came to Dono.
As he should.
Who do we think Welch is? I know this is gonna be another tangent, but do we think that we have like maybe it's someone in 5R? Like who do we think that Welch is? Do we know that Welch has a Twitter?
My guess is that Welch is probably Louis D. Song, bro. That's who I'm going with. Louis hates my guts, so he decided to troll me as Welch.
That's not who it is. That's not who it is.
Nah.
All right, listen.
Maybe
back to
Gad.
the point. We need to go back to the point.
Maybe Gad.
This is a must-win for the Dolphins, in my opinion. I think if they start off the season 1-4, you're putting yourself in a situation where you have to win every single game after that you're supposed to win, right? Like you can't lose any of them at that point. Oh, looks like he applied to be on Clutch Corner. Ruh-roh.
He didn't use the name Welch, so.
Yo, this guy's great. But yeah, no, listen, it's a must win. I know it's week 4 and it's early, but this team needs playoffs. It needs playoffs. You don't get playoffs, things go south. We will talk at the end about the stuff that may or may not happen on Monday that I swear I hope Philadelphia comes in and
We'll talk at the end. We'll talk at the end.
Saves the freaking day. But yeah, I think it's a must win.
I think to your point, like I don't think losing this game necessarily knocked them out of playoff contention, considering some of the teams that are like who we expected to be a little bit further along who are not. Like Kansas City, I didn't expect them to have dropped the game by now.
Not only to drop a game, but to look bad. Like that's the other thing. Like Kansas City does not look good.
Kansas City is one of the teams that we considered a lock. Like, and yeah, they're going to eventually get themselves together and get there. But I'm saying, like, this early season slow start is happening to a lot of teams, and I feel like the Dolphins are going to be able to turn it around.
I just think it's way too early, in my opinion, for the Dolphins to think that they can lose some of these games and make it up later. Like they can't do it. They can't do it, right? You can't come out of the stretch 1-4 because some of those teams that looked much more beatable look better than we thought, and we can admit that. As much as we troll Juan about the Panthers, they do look better than we thought they would. And the way the Dolphins
the Panthers and who they faced, and what Sam Darnold looked like after McCaffrey went out.
And then also you think about teams. Who's the fluky 3-0? The Broncos. Like the Broncos are 3-0 right
That's
now.
one of them.
That's
right. But if we're gonna sit here and say that the Broncos are gonna come back down, I'm not gonna bring up Kansas City and say, oh, they look worse than we thought, because Kansas City will come back up and they will get it together.
But that was my point. Like this beginning of the season, like it's kind of all muddled together. And I think my overarching thing is I don't want to say it's a must-win game when the Dolphins don't have their full assortment of players. Like if you're a game that you're starting Jacoby Brissett, bro, against the Colts, I just don't feel like it's a must-win game. Do I think that they should win it? Absolutely. Do I think that they have to win it in order to get to where we think they can go? I don't think so because of what I'm looking at throughout the rest of the AFC.
I see your point. It's just for me, I think you can't let it slip. You can't let these games slip.
I understand because these are some of the games that we're counting on in order to get to the point where we can get,
Okay, so let's look at
this
it.
This is just like if we look at it, Browns, I think we can all agree is a good team. I don't know why it says the Bengals are 2-2. I guess it's counting that they're down 7-0, but they're 2-1.
Giovanni misses. None of us do,
like the Steelers, Texans both 1-2, the Chiefs 1-2, but we know that's a fluke. Dolphins 1-2, Patriots 1-2, Jaguars. I don't know why it says 1-3. They're 0-3 right now.
Did it have both of them losing?
No, it had the Jaguars getting a win.
Because they're winning right now.
They're up 7-0. Yeah. So it does it like in real time. And then Jets and Colts 0-3.
You're
if I'm
saying
looking at
out
this
of
top
all
half,
these, I was gonna say, like, in my personal opinion, like, I think the Chargers will come back down to earth from what they had last week. I'm not saying the Chargers are a bad team. I just think they're gonna come back down to earth from what was last week's game. The Broncos are a fluke 3-0 team. The Ravens at 2-1. They've been playing bad. The Raiders are a fluke 3-0 team, in my opinion, as well. Titans start off bad. Like, out of all these teams that are like fantastic here, like the Bills, I think we can agree, like they had one bad week, but they've shown, I mean, they're again against some lesser competition, if you want to put it that way. But like,
if we're doing this exercise,
if we're looking at this, come on.
If we're doing this exercise, we have to look through this list and say that there are no more than 6 teams currently ahead of the Dolphins, no more than 6 that are better than the Dolphins. That is what we have to say. Right?
And what are the teams?
I see at least 7 teams there that right now are better than the Dolphins.
And they are?
Raiders are better than the Dolphins.
I don't think so, but this is your opinion.
They're 3-0. They beat us. What other evidence do we have?
They beat us, and if we look at the game,
they're
3-0.
They're 3-0, and they handed us the game at the beginning, and they beat us.
I'm with Michael. I think the Raiders are better than the Dolphins. I don't think they end the season that way, but right now I think they're a better team.
The Titans,
the Raiders will finish 8-9 or 9-8. But continue.
If they do, it's only because the Chiefs really came back with the vengeance. The Chargers are who
or
I
it's
thought they
because
were.
they're the Raiders.
Right.
Again,
the Raiders always do this.
If the Raiders
they
do
did the
Raider
same
things,
thing in the past 3 years.
Okay, so then if the Raiders are going to do Raider things, then the Dolphins are going to do Dolphin things.
I'm completely fine with that, but continue.
Hey, right? I'm with that shit. Though.
The Titans, Tannehill is super beatable. Derrick Henry with this defense, probably not so much. The Bills, we don't have to go through that one.
Right.
The Ravens, I don't think the Dolphins would have a shot against Lamar in hell.
No.
The Chargers are currently playing better than the Dolphins. The Browns are a better team than the Dolphins. And the Steelers, I'd edge them ahead of the Dolphins currently right now. And obviously the Chiefs. So I
think I would take this. I think I would take the Steelers out of that list. I would also take the Chargers. I don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like I see it and I get it.
Special yes.
Here, we're talking through all of this. Let's throw it to Kendall real quick, and not talking about this list necessarily. Kendall, do you think Sunday is a must-win for the Dolphins, in your opinion?
Oh, absolutely.
I love Kendall.
You can't fucking lose to Carson Wentz and his turnover prone.
You can't.
You can't.
2 sprained ankles.
It gets easier, but I think like this is a game that we just have to win because they are just as bad, if not worse, than us right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of going to be a tale of like the 2 lines, I feel like, whose defensive line is going to be able to get pushed. So that's what I think is going to come down to. But I think we have to beat them. Because just looking at their offense, it's like there's nobody over there that scares us.
Yeah, I love Kendall. Jimmy better shoot a damn 3-pointer too. I'm with you on that. Listen, I told straight up, I know this is a completely different thing. And if you watch Clutch Corner, okay, Kendall, when they were flaming your ass for your take, I was with you the entire time, bro. You can ask Roy. I literally told him Tuesday night after we did our show, I was like, y'all are wilding because Kendall was damn right, and y'all are just tripping hard, dude. You paid all that money, shoot a damn 3-pointer, bro.
Kendall is the Black Michael. Like nobody listened to him either.
Listen, that's much respect to me. I take that as a really good compliment. So I'm completely fine with that. Look, we can pull this off. We have other things you want to talk about. I want to talk more about
I want to ask a quick question just because it was brought up. What did you say about the Steelers? I'm interested.
I edge the Steelers out in front of the Dolphins.
Okay.
I don't see why not. I don't. What, you think I'm dumb for thinking that the Steelers, who have a better defense right now than we do?
No. It's not
and who have an offensive identity?
No. I think it's a hard time with Ben Roethlisberger. We're looking like possibly the worst quarterback in that division.
Ben Roethlisberger.
I find it hard. Like every other team in that division is better than them. So they're going to lose their division.
Every single team.
I have a hard time putting them
comparing the teams to the Dolphins. I was comparing the teams.
I get it.
Let me just say something. And Royal, who watches the same show as me, will know exactly what I'm saying here. Ben Roethlisberger found Jesus, and since he found Jesus, he has been a horrible quarterback.
Hammer down.
That's all I want to say, all right? That man stopped doing something and found Jesus, He has not been able to throw a football since. All right. I do
Hammer
not
down.
trust Ben Roethlisberger at
Ben
the
is
helm
also
of the
old, and
Pittsburgh
nobody
Steelers.
ages like Tom Brady.
Tom Brady is 44, 45. Big Ben can't throw. I'm sorry.
I just want to make sure. So you're
throw.
saying because Tom Brady's still throwing at 44, 45, we should look down on Ben?
No, it's just the same way that
because
LeBron James is still the greatest basketball player in the world, and he's old as well. That's
like
no. But Ben, like, I don't think we should look down on Ben, but it's obvious that he has kind of like
he's not the same guy.
Yeah,
it's obvious. This. They're only starting him because Dwayne Haskins can't throw a football either.
Well, hold on a second. So, but let's be completely honest as Dolphins fans, and a lot of us weren't really paying too close attention to the team then. This is kind of how it went with our guy. He didn't go out this bad, but there was a time where it was like, okay, what do we do with Dan? You can't get rid of him because he's Dan, but what are we going to do with him?
I can't believe we've gotten to the point where Michael is slandering Dan Marino.
I'm not slandering Dan Marino. I'm saying we were in the same exact spot.
I know.
You get to a point where the quarterbacks get older, but they've done so much for your franchise. It's like, what are you going to do with them? So they're stuck in that situation, Ben.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But it is
stuck in the situation. What do you mean they're stuck in the situation?
The reality
they had a chance to get rid of Ben, and they brought him back.
Yeah, they chose to do that.
They chose to do it, Ben.
But it's Ben. It's the guy who's made their franchise what it is the past 20 years.
Who gives a fuck?
The Steelers, they were never going to let Ben Roethlisberger walk.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Who cares? Everybody cares.
I mean, they didn't plan though. They didn't plan like to do anything after him, like ever.
Right.
So they kind of chose to be there. Like it's not like a Packers situation with Brett Favre, where like even though he was back and forth, like they at least took somebody else.
Right, and they took somebody again.
They took two.
That's fine. The Steelers have
they drafted Rodgers, and then they drafted another guy.
The Steelers before Rodgers even started. Never first round picks because they've tried to actually help their quarterback, unlike the Packers. Okay, but let's get into this. So
damn, bro, that was a shot at you, bro.
Bro, I'm gonna let him finish it off, bro, because we are already far enough off topic.
Yeah, we really are. Thank you, Giovanni. Okay, so we got two of us that say it's a must-win, two of us that say it's not a must-win. We have to talk about the injury situation right now because for the first time in a while, aside from the Tua injury, which is, in my opinion, incredibly detrimental to the offense, the Dolphins are relatively healthy, which at this point in the season, you can't take for granted, especially with the wide receiver room the way it is, right? Even Will Fuller, who did not participate on Tuesday, I believe it was, participated yesterday and today. I think he's already participated 2 days already. Oh, yesterday he didn't participate, but he did participate today. So Will Fuller is back. Everyone else was limited participant. If you go through the Colts injury report, they have, I think it's like 8 different do not participates. And of those that are notable, Eric Fisher, Quentin Nelson, their best offensive lineman and the best player on that team by far, Jack Doyle, their tight end, and Darius Leonard, who is the jack of all trades on that defense that really makes it go, right? So even if these guys do play, which I think Quentin Nelson is basically completely out, like we know that, even if those other guys do play, they are still going to be limited to an extent because they are dealing with an injury. Do you think that the Dolphins have what it takes to take advantage of an injury-depleted Colts team in Miami? I'll throw that one to Kendall.
Yeah, they definitely have like the personnel and the scheme to take advantage of it because most of them are on the offensive line and like on the offensive side. I think they'll be able to take advantage. Now, whether they definitely can come out and set the tone. Like when it comes to this team, like coming out and actually playing besides the Buffalo game, like I never like really worried like how are they going to come out to play. But sustaining it, I don't. That's where like my questions start, and it really comes to sustaining it like with the offense in the middle of the game. They hit this wall, and then it just the defenses will back is against the wall, and then they are being able to be taken advantage of.
They get about 1 to 2 drives a game that are amazing, and then the rest of the drives, it's like, did we just stop trying?
2 great scripted drives, and the rest where they go, oh, you know, some of those plays from those scripted drives work. We should draw up plays like that, and then they decide not to.
Yeah. Royal, I'm going to throw it to you. The injuries, specifically Quentin Nelson, right? That offensive line for the Colts, it's pretty depleted, right? Do you think a guy like Jalen Phillips, who is starting to look better, he's trending in the right direction, right? Jalen Phillips, Emmanuel Ogbah, do you think this is the game where they really come out and start getting some of those sacks? Because the pressures have been higher and higher each week. They just haven't been able to finish a lot of them. Is this the week they finish it?
No, sure. I think they're going to be able, especially with Carson Wentz and those ankles. Like I think they're going to be able to get to him. He does have the tendency to hold the ball a little longer, so they're going to be able to get home. I'm more worried about in terms of the offensive line. I'm more worried about them being able to stop the run because I don't think the Colts are going to try and pass like a lot. I think they're going to try and lean on that run game, and that's an area of weakness for the Dolphins. And even without Quentin Nelson, I still give the slight edge to the Colts offensive line over the Dolphins defensive line in terms of the run defense. So, I'm a little worried about that, but I do believe that the guys that you mentioned will be able to get some hands on Carson Wentz because he's terrible.
Yeah, and this one I'm going to throw you, Kai, on the injury side for the Dolphins. Now, when I wrote it, the report hadn't come out yet about Michael Dieter, so I didn't know that yet. Michael Dieter, who has been our best offensive lineman to literally everyone's surprise. No one in hell would have ever called that. Dieter's dealing with an injury now.
Unless you were with me and Kendall at camp, watching Dieter play. Saw him holding up his arms and saying everything, then you knew. But
controlling the huddle and everything, getting guys organized. Dieter was doing his thing.
Yeah, nobody actually thought so. I mean, this is what, year 4? They've been patient as hell on that guy. But
wasn't he drafted out of Wisconsin, bro? All those guys are good. So
but all of them are good immediately. We got the one guy that took 4 years to figure it out,
and we're happy I'm gonna stop. Continue.
But yeah, the Dolphins have some injuries too. Do you think there's anything on the injury side that really worries you? Is it Dieter really? Raekwon still being out? What's going on with him? What are you thinking on the Dolphins side?
I think the most concerning injury is still the most concerning injury that we've had since it happened against Buffalo, which is the fact that we're starting Jacoby Brissett at quarterback and Tua's out. Like, look, I get that everything is happening, and you know what? Maybe we don't want in general. Let's say if we found this out and Dieter's injured, Tua's gonna get killed, yada yada. Let's be real. The most concerning one is the fact that we're starting Jacoby Brissett. Everyone thinks out of 50 passes, 150 yards, whatever the hell he threw for, 200 yards. That he's all of a sudden this great guy. Hopefully, hey, you never know, revenge game up until Monday when everything happens, apparently, and then we'll go from there. But, that's the most concerning one because even though Carson Wentz is a turnover machine, even though he has 2 sprained ankles, he's missing his best offensive lineman and arguably the best offensive lineman in the league. The Dolphins' injury concern is the fact that they're starting Jacoby Brissett. And if Jacoby can't, if he can't do, again, the times I agree with you, Mike, is 100%. The Raiders did what the Raiders always do, and they tried to give the Miami Dolphins that game time after time after time after time again. And Jacoby and the offense, whether it's coordinator ineptitude or whether it's just Jacoby being inept himself, could not capitalize on that. And we can't get that same Jacoby Brissett against the Colts, who are very, very injury depleted. And then on the defensive side of the ball, it just kind of echoing the same thing. These guys should be able to eat, especially with Quentin Nelson being out, because as we all know as well, when you have one great offensive lineman, he can make up for the mistakes of some poor offensive lineman. He's arguably the best in the game right now, and him being out is going to be a huge, huge toll on their team.
Yep. Well,
I see a couple people in the chat. Calling for Reeds and that. I don't think there's a situation.
It's been
it's
been happening forever, man.
Yeah, listen. If there's one, listen. I'll educate you on this one, Royal, because you're still fairly new here, right? If there's one thing that Dolphins fans are exceptionally good at, it is having hope in any quarterback. Okay?
It's the hope that kills you.
My guy, we drafted Brandon Doughty in the
and because Dan Marino
round,
talked to him, everyone was like,
and people said, "Yo, Brandon Doughty might be it." And I will tell you, legitimately, back when I was still naive and really dumb about this stuff, there was a season finale the Dolphins had against the Steelers. We're getting blown out. It didn't matter. I think Matt Moore got hurt or they just sat him down. So a guy named Tyler Thigpen came in, and Tyler Thigpen blew the doors off.
I know,
Thigpen was killing it.
I think that was against the Bills on the road.
I think it was the Steelers, bro. I really do think it was the Steelers.
Probably,
but either way, Tyler Thigpen looked amazing. And I was like, well, hold on a second. This Tyler Thigpen guy might be the thing. And I spent the whole offseason watching Tyler Thigpen tape. And I'm like, well, hold on. He can move. He throws a deep ball. Bro, Tyler Thigpen sucked, and so did all the other guys we've had.
I know who Tyler Thigpen is.
Okay, so I'm telling you right now,
confusing me that you
when
thought
you're
that
when you're wondering who
you said
Reed Sinnett is nobody.
You said Tyler Thigpen.
I know Reed Sinnett is. He's from South Florida. Went to high school down there or something, right?
If Reed Sinnett is the answer, the entire NFL messed up.
No,
because everybody
against
had a chance to get him.
what team did you say that?
What happened?
I hate my life. Against what team did you say that?
Trevor.
That it was against. Kendall, shut up,
I believe was playing. I think he was playing against the Steelers in a season finale.
That would be correct. The team lost the season finale and finished 7-9 against the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2009. It was the sole game that Tyler Thigpen played in that season and had stats in. I'm trying to find it.
What are his stats?
Chad Henne and Chad Pennington were the other quarterbacks in the game.
Oh, it was them. Okay.
Went 4 for 8 for 83 yards and a touchdown and 2 interceptions. So not as great as you thought.
Time out, though. He had that one deep touchdown and nobody could throw it on his team. Chad Pennington couldn't throw because he didn't have an arm, and Chad Henne couldn't throw because he was more inaccurate than a freaking robot. So it was like, listen, I'm all in on this Thigpen guy. We've just always been ready for anybody. We will listen. Dolphins fans will love any quarterback as long as they play well, and that worries me. And again, we'll get to it at the end. But
that was his only game. Yeah, 4 for 8, 83 yards, a touchdown, 2 picks, and a long 34 with an 87 QBR.
You guys are taking years off of my life talking about Tyler Thigpen, bro.
Listen, I can switch things up so
Dolphins stand up.
January 3rd, 2010. Also, on a side note, for what me and Kendall, as Kendall saw and everyone saw, my
Cap,
unhappiness.
I just wanted to Cap. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk, and I'm gonna say his name, even though we will talk about Watson. We're gonna talk about Watson. We're gonna talk about the whole thing. We're gonna talk about it at the end. We're each gonna have a time to speak our piece on that one. So you just wait, Cap.
So, Laviska Shenault, who has done nothing for me for the past 2 weeks.
I don't care about
on my bench and just caught a 52-yard.
Mike, if we let you go on this soliloquy about Tyler Thigpen, bro, at least
it was the Dolphins.
His fantasy team is happening right now. So
it's a Dolphins fan in his fantasy team.
No,
and the Bengals are letting me down, losing to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Because who else? Who else would?
Plus 7.5.
You know, I'm to just go on the tangent because we were talking about Tyler Thigpen, right?
This is not another tangent.
We're all in the same fantasy league, right? My strategy has been take whoever's playing against the Jets or the Bengals, right? For the defense. I thought, oh my God, the Bengals against Mike's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that they're gonna just blow the doors off of Jacksonville. And they're losing 14-0 right now. So
my favorite team is the Steelers.
Well, you think that they're good, so I had to.
I think they're better than the Dolphins,
which is horseshit. But you know,
I mean,
anyways,
we don't have much to back it up.
Spider-Man meme at this point, bro. Like right now, they're definitely the Spider-Man meme. Like they're pointing at each other. They're exactly the same. Like
they really are. Let's go over some team stats for this game. So, does anyone, if you saw it on the rundown, please do not answer. Does anybody want to take a guess as to how many points per game the Indianapolis Colts score? We'll start with you, Kendall, because you don't have the rundown.
How many points the Indianapolis Colts score? I would say 21 points per game.
Okay. Royal?
You could ask me first because I don't read the rundown.
I know that much.
I would say you didn't read mine. So
that's for damn sure. I pulled it up when I was on the show.
Yeah, right. I should at least give you that respect and put it up. But I won't. So no, I'm gonna say they score about 17 points a game, bro.
Okay. So you're right with Alex.
Yeah, did you get that from Alex?
Okay. Kai, did you already see it on the rundown?
I always look at the rundown because that's out of respect for the host. But I agree with Royal Shepherd.
Okay, well. Alex and Royal and Kai, because he picked Royal score, are the closest because the Colts score 18.7 points per game. They have a total of 318 yards per game, 250 of those being passing, 103 being rushing. And their stats leaders include Carson Wentz, who's thrown for 60% this year, 692 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. He does have 8 sacks this year, though, so that's not great for him. Jonathan Taylor, 42 attempts on 171 yards, 0 touchdowns, and their leading receiver, Michael Pittman, who has 220 receiving yards. I will go back.
In my mind. Sorry.
I will go back to Kendall's point earlier. There's nothing about this offense that terrifies me What would worry me is Jonathan Taylor because we have not looked great against the run. Is there anything about this offense that you think worries you a little bit as a Dolphins fan?
Just stack the box all game.
Stack the box all game?
Yep, and play man on the outside.
Force Mr. Two Sprains to beat you, which we all know is not going to happen.
The only thing that actually scares me is if they decide to play Justin Coleman over Nick Needham in the slot.
Again.
Bro,
you gotta add the again.
Yeah,
we know they already did it for 2 straight weeks.
Don't worry me.
Justin Coleman needs to go somewhere very far away from the game.
Dude, him and Albert Wilson are like lessons in Dolphins fandom this year to stop listening to training camp. I know I mentioned training camp earlier with me and Kendall, but like, oh my God, dude. Like, that's just ridiculous that everyone's like, Justin Coleman, dude's about to be. We got Justin Coleman, we got Nick Needham, we got Byron Jones, Xavier Howard, and now Justin Coleman's getting torched. Everyone's like, yo, 27, he doesn't even have a name. Get his jersey, tear it off his back, put it in a fire, get him off the field. Like, it's just, they can't. I'm sorry. I agree with Kendall. They cannot do that again. You can't go out there and start Justin Coleman again. And especially with, like, you have Michael Pittman, who has been, I guess, serviceable. And there are other options that the Colts have. Like, this game will get to the point where the Dolphins get blown out or have a bad situation happen because of the fact that they're having Justin Coleman starting in the slot and not trying to do literally anything else, or having the guy you've had for the past 2 years now going on to a third year as an undrafted free agent who's done a serviceable, if not better than serviceable job in that same position.
I think Zach Pascal will he will legit abuse what's this guy's name?
Coleman?
Yeah,
Bro, I think you put Royal in some pads, he'd abuse Justin Coleman. And you know he ain't outrunning nobody.
You got me.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I'm 5'7", but in high school I ran a 4.3, bro. Let's just be real.
You're not in high school. You're not in high school.
I'm not. But these will still work, Michael Christian. These will still work, Michael Christian.
Talk to that boy, bro. Let him know.
It might not be 4.3 no more, bro. But I'm just saying, bro. I can get down there now. You know what I'm saying? I can get out of there.
Yeah. You run that 6'1", right? You run that 6'1". That 6'140.
6? No, we ain't never gonna get to the 6, baby. Might be in them 5 now, but I'm just saying, like, I think
I want to see you against the guy from NFL Network.
Rich Eisen?
Yeah, I want to see you versus Rich Eisen.
Run.
Nah, based off the DNA alone, he's smoking.
based on you know what? Based on melanin, just completely based on the melanin. That's it.
He's smoking Rich Eisen.
Oh man. In other news, UM's getting blown out.
I think outside of Michael, I can't name another like receiver on the Colts team. I think that I'll go with Kendall's idea of stacking that box and just kind of trying to double up on the run. Like, double down on that shit and then let Byron and X handle all the receivers. And I don't really know who the third receiver is over there in Indianapolis. Yeah, but the running back,
be scared of him a little bit because Jerome Baker, for whatever reason, got slow.
Well, hold on. Jerome Baker has a really tough time, bro, because he's guarding literally everybody.
Right. He's the only pass coverage linebacker on the roster.
Like,
he's the only
guy that can run what Royal ran in high school. Like, every other guy runs a Rich Eisen 40, bro. Like, let's not do this.
This is their depth chart currently.
Listen, and don't sleep on Paris
Pittman,
Campbell. Paris Campbell is
Zach
a good
Pascal,
wide receiver. Paris Campbell is a very good wide receiver.
So. I'd be scared if T.Y. Hilton wasn't on IR.
Yeah, because he'll probably.
Mo Cox ain't bad, but you know, you're relying more on Jack Doyle than anything. Like, you're not scared of him. It's like a guy where you're like, man, you know what, Mo Cox kind of cool, but am I scared of him? No. And then if at any point, I mean, we know this dude. At any point, this dude comes into the game.
Well, Eric Fisher was on the injury report, so maybe.
I mean, we know that. We know this dude real well.
They got messed up by injuries. That's unfortunate. Real quick.
That's what happens when you. Never mind.
Defensively, the Colts allowed 26.7 points per game. They allowed 373 yards per game. Right? They have 5 team sacks, 3 interceptions, and 3 forced fumbles, which actually isn't that bad. Now, quick quiz question for you guys. Right? I gave you all the Colts team stats. They score 18.7 points per game. They allow 318 yards. They allowed 27 points per game and allowed 373 yards per game, just as a recap. Are the Dolphins better than the Colts in how many of those categories? Right, like how many of those categories are the Dolphins better than the Colts in?
Like out of just a pure guess?
Yeah. So let's go one by one. The Colts score 18.7 points per game. Do the Dolphins score more or less than that per game?
Less.
Yeah.
Clearly
Okay.
less.
They do score less. They score 15 points per game.
Yeah.
Yards per game,
the
318. More or less on the Dolphins?
Less. Way
Correct.
less.
It is less on the Dolphins as they are.
It took 50 pass attempts for him to get to 200 yards?
Yeah. Yards allowed, defensive side, right? Defensively, the Colts allow 383 yards per game. Do the Dolphins allow more or less than that?
More, because they can't get off field.
I'm gonna say less.
No, they lose time of possession damn near every game. I'm gonna say the Dolphins allow.
Yeah, they can't get off on
more.
third.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins allow more yards.
The Dolphins do allow more yards, as the Dolphins allow 418 yards per game. And lastly, the stat that really matters: points per game. Points per game. The Colts allowed 26.7 points per game. Dolphins, higher or lower? Are they better than the Colts or not?
Well, I mean, look.
How many?
I'll play the game.
26.7.
They're still higher for the Dolphins because
they're just over.
Yeah, like
27.3. Even when you break it down, even when you break it down by yards passing, yards rushing, and like in each individual side, the Dolphins are only better than the Colts in one category, and that is rush yards allowed per game. And the Dolphins allow 136, whereas the Colts allow 140. In every other category, the Dolphins are worse, including the turnover margin.
So Brissett should never throw the ball, is what you're saying.
Basically.
I want to play this game, but I see where you're going with everything.
I think opponents. I think who you play matters a lot in those situations. The 35-0 blowout against Buffalo did not help at all. So
sure, that was an aberration.
No, sure, but no, it's I don't know if I want to call it an aberration, but I would just want to say like it doesn't help the case, and also the overtime game where you get those extra yards accumulated against Las Vegas. I almost called them
absolutely
Las Vegas. That also adds to that. But to your overarching point, is the Dolphins context matters most times. But if this is literally every statistical category except for one, like, and we're going into week 4.
Yeah, let's not act like the Colts have played schmucks. The Colts played the Seahawks in week 1. They lost 28-16 at home. Then they played the Rams in week 2. They lost 27-24 at home. And then they played the Titans in Tennessee. And they lost.
Everyone knows who Matthew Stafford is now.
Yeah.
Right. So those aren't slouch offenses.
Right.
Those are teams that can work. That can work and work well against you.
The world.
So the fact that they've played, I'd say, better teams. Do you think those 3 teams are better than the teams that the Dolphins have played?
For sure. Like over cumulatively.
There's only one team there that's better than the Bills. At this current point in time.
No, I'm just saying
the other 2 teams
at this
are
current
better
point in time, there's only one team that's better than the Bills.
Right.
No, but I'm just talking about not just the Bills though. I'm factoring in the other 2 opponents as well. The Patriots.
Oh yeah, no, the Patriots suck, and the Raiders are flukes. The Raiders are flukes.
So
like I know we lost the Raiders, but they're flukes.
But it's funny. I feel the Raiders are flukes, but I feel like the Titans are flukes as well. But just based off of division, they're gonna get
flukes. Which way though? Oh, okay. I wanted to make sure, just because it's not been great. I mean, he needs one offensive coordinator, and he's 0-3. So, I mean,
yeah, but that team has been fighting at the very least. Like, damn.
That's Dan Campbell's Dolphins fought when he was interim head coach, and where that take us.
I mean, Dan Campbell, I loved as a person.
I love him as a person.
He just couldn't
love him as a person.
Like
Oklahoma drills.
Every coach has weak points. Every coach has weak points. Unfortunately, I think we've found our head coach's weak point, and that is picking an offensive coordinator.
I mean, he had a good one in the first year. So.
And
then he fired.
But things were too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Kendall, things were too complicated. Kendall.
That is insane to me.
So
things were too complicated. Kendall. Ryan Fitzpatrick couldn't grasp it. Kendall.
But I will say the way you felt about Tyler Thigpen is the way I felt about Dan Campbell. Because once we blew out
we blew out 2 teams in a row.
Yeah, and the Texans, I was like,
bro. The Texans
This is like
got
a Brady
murked.
situation. That's what a
Then
coach.
what was it? The Titans? Was it the Titans next?
It was the Titans first, and then
It was the Titans and then the Texans, and we murked both of them. And I'm like, yeah, let's go.
One
and
on the road and then one at home, and it was like, all right, we got.
And then I remember Omar Kelly specifically saying, "Guys, slow down. Wait till he plays someone like the Patriots. Bill Belichick's gonna expose him." Yo, we got rocked. Woof, what a rough time. Look, we can talk more about the Colts game. I think there is more that we can dissect, but honestly, position matchup and all that stuff, I don't think it really matters. I think we have to talk about what's most important right now and what we haven't talked about too much, and that is the reports that are coming out, because this is the way I think it goes. The Dolphins lose, immediately everybody's thoughts go to anything else. I would say it's a South Florida thing because I've seen the Heat fans do it as well, but it might just be a sports thing in general, right? Like when the Heat aren't doing well, everybody starts looking at, why don't they trade for Bradley Beal? Go trade for whoever else, right? It's just, you're always looking outside for some sort of fix. Right now, the conversations are around Deshaun Watson and whether or not he will be a member of the Miami Dolphins because he's not playing for the Texans. Just give me your thoughts on the whole Deshaun Watson situation, Kendall, because you're the newest one here on the show, and you won't probably get to talk about it as much in following shows because you're not a regular here. I'm going to give you the floor first. Your thoughts on the Deshaun Watson situation?
I do think that the Dolphins really want him. Like, I don't think that there's any way possible that they don't. Like, even from the time that it started to the time the situations came up, and even till now, like, I really think that they're gonna try to do. They want him badly, but they want him on their terms. I don't think it's anywhere around that. Like, they don't want to cave into the Texans and do it the way they want to. If they can get the Texans to budge, like, I'll just tell Dolphins fans, it's gonna happen. Whether he plays or not, like, is not something that I can say. I don't think he would play this year, but they definitely want him. And like, if they have the opportunity, they're gonna make it happen.
And what are I want your personal opinion on the matter, if you don't mind sharing that, obviously, because this is a very different situation than anything I think we've ever faced as Dolphins fans. Do you want Deshaun Watson? Do you not want him? What are your thoughts on the whole thing?
Oh, for me personally, I would want the off the field thing to play out. However it plays out, it plays out. And if they settle whatever, I think whatever the outcome that comes out of that, settlement or not, I wouldn't be the one to judge, because obviously the other people in the situation, however they see fit, they want that to be resolved, even if that means going to trial or whatever. Then I would want to see that, because they're the ones who are, like, that has been affected the most.
Yep.
But if it gets settled and it gets behind him and he can move forward, get his suspension or whatever, commission the exempt list, and he happens to play on the team, then he's on the team. For me, I would just keep moving forward as a Dolphins fan.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you one last thing, and I'll throw it over to the other two. This is a personal thing that I need to know. Do you spell your name with an E at the end or not? Because sometimes there's no E, sometimes there's an E. Is the E like your last name?
Yeah, my real name, no. That's like my nickname.
Okay.
When I was young, added an E to the end of my name, and it became my name.
Okay, but there's not actually an E.
No, it's just one L too.
Okay, because I feel like it's always all over the place whenever I watch anything, and I want to address you correctly, but now I know. I mean, it's not like it changes the pronunciation. Kendall is Kendall with an E at the end or not, unless you want to be Kendale.
Kendale, bro. Dale, bro.
Yeah, that sounds.
Living in Miami, I think people think Kendale, but it's actually
Kendale, bro.
Okay, thank you for your thoughts on that. Bro, I'm going to throw it to you next on this. So you're new to this. You're not fully Dolphins fan, so you're a little bit more removed. What do you think about the whole thing?
If they got Deshaun Watson, it would damn sure help my progression. Look, I'm not in the business of ignoring talent. This man, when he plays, is a top 3 player in the league. You know this very well about me, Michael Christian. Like, I try to stay as much focused on the field or on the court as humanly possible. I leave personal things personal. If there's an opportunity for the Dolphins to snag one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the league, you go get him. Now, I understand the circumstances surrounding all these allegations, but you will be much happier if you got him and they turned out to be smoke.
World champion contenders, yeah.
Right. You'll turn into a completely different team. So I go get him. And then I worry about what happens later on. Like, that's just the way it is. Because if it turns out in our favor, then the Dolphins have one of the best quarterbacks in the league for the next 10 years.
They would have the best.
Get him for cheap, and you get him for cheap.
Best quarterback in the AFC.
Right, for sure, and you get him for damn near nothing. So, I mean, I'm with it. Go get him, and then you'll deal with the aftermath and the fan response, whatever, bro. Add that.
Okay, Kai, do you want to go with yours? I know you haven't want to talk about it. If you don't, that's fine.
I mean, I just think that it makes look from a football perspective. It's the same thing I've been saying since my days at Onside Radio. Rest in peace. But from a football perspective. From a football perspective, right? It makes the most sense in the world. I know there have been people that have said for 3 first-round picks. I don't. Bless Ethan's soul, Nick's soul. I don't give a fuck what it costs. 3 first-round picks from a football-only perspective. If we're saying football only, that you're not going to trade 3 first-round picks to get a top 3 quarterback in the NFL to wear this helmet and play for your football team.
You sound fucking drunk.
You are
nuts.
You are gone. However,
thank you.
There's another side of things that if it was 1, maybe 2, maybe there's some fugaz in there, you know? But there's 22.
I wouldn't say that.
So, but you get me? I wouldn't say it either. But, for
you'll be able
people,
to move past it.
It's easier to swallow.
Yeah, it would be easier
to swallow if the number wasn't so goddamn.
I still wouldn't want to go hang out with Deshaun Watson. I'm like that. But it's 20. It's 22, and so it makes it harder. However, do I think that the Dolphins are going to end up with Deshaun Watson, whether on Monday, shout out Alex Dono, or by the end of the season? Deshaun Watson, unless the Dolphins really decide not to, or they don't do it by Monday, and let's say that Tua comes back and just lights it up, that would be the only reason that you don't. Or because let's be real, they're not going to let the Eagles trade for him unless the Eagles do something crazy, and he has a no trade clause. Deshaun Watson by 2022 is most likely going to be a Miami Dolphin. I just think it's inevitable.
I don't even think he was okay.
So,
to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think if they
Why
bring
would
Deshaun
you?
Watson in, he starts for the Dolphins the next week.
Listen, from a football perspective, that trade goes through Friday night. You bring him in Saturday, you teach him 10 plays, you run 10 plays the entire game on Sunday. You run those 10 plays.
Not even just 10.
I don't even think he would have to. I think he would be able to do whatever he wanted to on the field. That's how good he is. He'll be able to dictate the offense.
But here's where I'm gonna because I think I'm a little bit further on one side than everybody else is on the Deshaun Watson thing. Yeah. And I will say this first.
I've been very firm that I think that the same thing that you're about to say, I've been very firm on that since everything came out. I just want to say it just seems inevitable. So I've gone from denial to acceptance that it's going to happen.
Right.
That's just where I'm at.
So this is where I'm at. And this is my personal opinion. I don't need anybody to agree with me. What Royal thinks and what many of you guys think is absolutely fine. From a football standpoint, I completely agree. It makes 100% sense. I love Tua. I want him to be great. But if you can get a guy who's there and has it now, you go get that guy, right? Don't be dumb. Get the sure thing. Even if Tua turns out to be just as good as Deshaun Watson in 4 years, that's 4 years from now, right? You got to win, especially if they want to save their jobs. So I completely understand it from that point. This is where I stand on it. I just think it's a weird, and in my opinion, it's a bad look for the team. We haven't spoken about this basically the entire time. We talked about Watson a little bit in January. Allegations came up. We stopped doing it from there. My statements is this. If any person had these allegations against them and they were applying for an accounting job with the Dolphins, a front office job, anything in an office, they would not get looked at for a second. The Dolphins would say, whoa, bro, all that stuff is really murky. We're not touching it. This, in my opinion, leads towards, yeah, but he's good at football, so it's okay. We'll deal with it later because he's really good at the game. And I personally can't do that. I don't like that. It makes me uncomfortable. And I think then it gets really weird and sticky And also, I mean, let's play it out. You trade all those picks for him. Let's just say something does happen and he gets suspended. Let's just say it's a year, right?
I think he's getting suspended regardless. So.
Right. But let's say he gets suspended a year. That's a year you've lost. So. And that's picks you completely lost.
You cut to like 8 to 6 games.
No, I don't know. I think at the most he's getting is probably 4 because if they were going to suspend him, they would have done it by now. Like, truth be told, he's not on the commissioner's exempt list. He hasn't been traded. Like,
and this is look for me. It's not a fantasy football thing.
Yeah, this is real life.
It's not a fantasy football thing. To me, this is real life, right? And I can't move past the fact that what I think he did is wrong. When Ben Roethlisberger had accusations against him, a lot of people were jumping on his back. A lot of people were jumping off that Ben Roethlisberger bandwagon, right? And look, you bring up Mike Vick and you bring up Plaxico Burress. To me, that's a very different situation, right?
Plaxico Burress shot him as a Giants fan.
No, but even
Plaxico Burress shot himself in the leg in a club. All right,
Plaxico
Burress is not to the level of what the fuck is going on right now. Okay,
but even Mike Vick went to jail. Mike Vick paid his time.
Prison.
He went to prison. He did his time. He
for
paid
2 years,
for
right?
happened.
Or a year?
I think it was 2 years.
Like a year and a half.
Like a year and some change.
Right?
2 years.
When the Eagles wanted Mike Vick, it was after all of that. After he had come out and apologized. After he had paid the consequences for his actions. This right now is you saying, we don't care about any of that. We're willing to pay for those consequences because whatever those allegations are, whatever, we just want the talent at a discount. And to me, I don't like that. I think that's a very weird look. I think it's a bad look, and I think it matters how you win.
Here's the difference between what was going on with Vic and what's going on with Deshaun Watson. One was a criminal case. One is a civil case. Like, look, Mike, like I understand. I agree with you 100% about the morality of the situation. I don't think that it's fair that a player who gets on the field versus an accountant or something in the Dolphins department gets different treatment, but that is the reality. Like the reality is that they're going to be looked at different.
And I understand the reality. And the reality is most likely this time next week, on Tuesday, when we're doing our show, we're most likely going to be talking about, all right, what's the new game plan with a new quarterback?
No, sure. The game plan is whatever Deshaun Watson wants to do. But the thing is,
can I
go ahead,
after
go ahead.
I want to talk
okay,
about
after
you want to talk about
he had criminal charges, bro, and that was guaranteed jail time. This is a civil case with Deshaun Watson, which could all disappear with no criminal charges or nothing whatsoever in a day. If he chose, just being honest, like if he chose to pay money, it'll be over with.
Right. But again, saying it is a civil case, right? Which civil cases are completely different.
Most of them, yeah.
And everybody likes it. Everybody that wants Watson, again, that is your opinion. I understand. He's going to help us win games. But we can't keep saying this whole innocence or proven guilty because that's not how it works in civil cases. Legally, that's not how it works. I'm not saying he's guilty. And we have to say allegedly because these are all accusations, which is what I've called them. Accusations. He is not 100% guilty of anything. But at a certain point, you have to sit there as a human being and say, okay, that's a pretty freaking high number to just be like, it'll all blow over. It's fine. Come on.
No, if I could just make a quick point, like if that does happen, my only call out here is that when they usually trade for players, I don't know if they'll do a press conference, but in my opinion, for something this serious, Stephen Ross would have to speak. Like that's where I would have a problem. Like
he hasn't spoken in a long time.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? For a billionaire like organization, like to be leading this thing and for him to not speak, that's where I would have a problem. And because I don't even think like it at the end of the day, it's not really a Chris Greer or Brian Flores move.
Nope.
It's an ownership move. So the team will be taking this like backlash possibly for it. So it's like the owner would have to speak. That's one thing that I'm like looking for. Like if this thing was to happen, like Stephen Ross would have to speak. And I would be like, then I would really put up red flags. Like, but then probably don't care about this whole thing. Like,
right. But then they speak, right? And what do they do with the reporters that ask the questions? That ask the tough questions and ask what's going on. They're just not going to answer them and ask them to leave, probably. You think they're going to answer them?
They'll plant the questions. They'll plant the questions in the media. But Kyle's been trying to jump in for a minute, so I don't want to.
Yeah. Like to talk about and I know Mike that you touched on it, and like just in general, and I feel like maybe these situations aren't comparable, but at the same time, like in the justice system, whether it is right or wrong, and whether it's good for, and my personal opinion, some people and good for and not good for other people, because I know some people don't think that exists, but that clearly freaking exists. Like this, we always talk about innocent until proven guilty. We always talk about allegedly this, allegedly that. We always talk about all this stuff. I would like to remind everyone that whether it's criminal, civil, whatever the case is, innocent, guilty, unfortunately, we're in a time now in the United States of America and just around in the world where that kind of doesn't really matter anymore in the court of public opinion.
Nope.
We are currently, and I understand that it's completely different situations. Someone became a huge topic because her boyfriend ended up back in Florida without her, and now she's dead. Not a single person knows if this person murdered her. People assume so. But in the court of public opinion, he brutally murdered her and left her out wherever. I can't remember where exactly they found her. This was a huge case that's been happening for the past 3 weeks. Most likely he did it? Probably. But it's all this, like, what? Innocent until proven guilty and all the, like, allegedly. Right now, we run on the court of public opinion. And unfortunately, the court of public opinion says that Deshaun Watson is guilty. Whether that's, I'm not saying it because I don't know. Mike doesn't know. I'm not saying he is. Royal doesn't know. Kendall doesn't know. None of us know.
Nope.
But unfortunately, it's not. How are you from? I think people forget that this is a business. Like the NFL is a business. These are billion-dollar investments. To Kendall's point, you have to. I know. I'm just trying not to say the names, Alex. To that point, right? You have to answer to certain people that you have. You have to answer to the women that are in your organization. You have to answer to anyone who's supporting your team for that thing, because that's something that it's too big to bring in. And to the crowd, because I've seen this so many different times, to the crowds that say, oh, well, what about the false accusations that happen to NFL players all the time? Yeah, it does happen. It does. But this is not 22 false accusations. Like, let's be real with ourselves here. You can also be on the side of saying, I'm fine with getting Deshaun Watson, and also saying at the same time, I still think he's a shitty person. Like, that's a possible thing. But the whole, like, this is playing on to the levels of lie. He's innocent, blah, blah, who cares? 22. I truthfully have to say, and I'm like, just straight up, it's a complete joke that so many people are so willing to deny accusations from any way possible, but will jump onto another situation because it proves the narrative that they're trying to follow. This is turning into a joke, and it's turning embarrassing. And I'm sure that some of you in the chat aren't that level, but that's what this has turned into. There are 22 serious allegations against Deshaun Watson, and outside of, you have to look at this not only in a football perspective. If we were looking at it only in a football perspective, this deal would have been done before the draft even happened, and it would have been done for probably the highest draft capital that we've ever seen. But unfortunately, that's the situation. So I would plead that people use their brains that they have been birthed to have and given in this world, and actually take a second to think about what is happening, instead of just sitting here and saying, who cares, whatever, innocent until proven guilty. By you sitting there and saying that, in my personal opinion, and I'll let anyone else speak however they want to say too, by you saying that, you're just saying they're all lying. Like, that's literally what you're saying. I understand that's how we run, that's how this should run. Everything should run innocent until proven guilty. That's how our justice system should be. Unfortunately, that's just not what it is. And, like, we can't sit here and just ignore this shit and continue to act like, oh, but he's innocent until proven guilty. Like, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Very respectfully saying.
Yeah. To me, I think what a lot of this boils down to is, look, if you're fine getting Deshaun Watson, you're fine getting Deshaun Watson. That's your opinion. I have no opinion on you as a person for wanting that, because that is your opinion. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that mine is right or mine is wrong. Mine is just what I think is best. You have the right to think whatever you want. My stance on this is just, it doesn't make all that much sense. it would be a very sticky, very horrible situation with a lot of accusations that have to be taken seriously. Okay. And my hope is that if the Dolphins are going to make this move, they have done their homework. That is it. That is my hope. Do all your homework on it. If you feel after everything you've
it's not going to be made. Yeah, it's not going to be made.
Conflicting Super Bowl in Dolphins fandom history, bro. You get Deshaun Watson.
Though.
You get Deshaun Watson. You're a Super Bowl contender.
You're a Super Bowl contender now.
You're Super Bowl contender now.
Right. But
if
they
win
the Super Bowl,
you're going to have so many conflicting feelings about Dolphins fans. I think because a lot of you haven't seen the championship in your lifetime, like you want the championship. You want the championship.
Like if it comes down and we win a Super Bowl with him as our quarterback, I'm gonna be honest. Like just in reality, I think like the majority, probably like 95% of fans, they're not even gonna be thinking about that. As sad as it is, like because it's self-interest at that point. It's like the fulfillment that they're gonna feel like to say like, oh, we won a Super Bowl and I seen one after all the BS like this team has put me through. Like they're gonna just throw that.
They're gonna think about relief more than they are going to think about anything else.
And don't get me wrong, we're all, 3 out of 4 of us have been Dolphins fans for a very long time. 1 out of 4 of us is just jumping on. But I think all of us can agree we'd like to see the Dolphins be successful.
One of us was a Giants fan,
right?
Yeah,
right. But I'm saying for a long time. You've been a Dolphins fan for a while.
I was a Giants fan.
Yeah.
For 2 Super Bowls as well.
I just think
I was a Giants fan for like half of my life. But
I just like to see this team play out what they had. Right? Because, and this is the flip side of it. If they then go on Monday, they make that trade, and then Tua gets sent off to another team for a 2nd-round pick, in my opinion, that is an alarming indictment on the front office, admitting we made a huge mistake on not one, but all of the 1st-round picks that year.
I don't think so. Look, I think if you get a 2nd-round pick back from Tua, that'll be...
Yeah, that's like as close. Like I think that's
it's also just from a football perspective. It's Deshaun fucking Watson. It doesn't matter. Like honest to God,
no.
It does not matter anything else.
Time out. But the only reason why you're getting Deshaun Watson is because they have so many picks that they've accumulated because they swindled the Texans once. All credit to Chris Greer. When it comes to trading, he knows what he's doing. But if he wants to build a team, he has not shown anything to be able to do that successfully yet. Because the free agent acquisitions come in and they go out the next year. The draft class,
everything outside of offensive line, he has to be fair.
What?
He's built a pretty solid team out of the offensive line.
Yeah, I agree with that.
This team, I know that there's some comments that are saying like,
we're not. It's fine. We're moving on to Tua and we're talking about.
I don't want to answer to the stupid shit that's being said in this chat. I understand that like some people are upset with the offensive line as well, but it's like Chris Greer has built a very sound team, and unlike certain other things, it's like you get Deshaun Watson, you are contending for a Super Bowl this season. Like this season, you are contending for a Super Bowl. This season, you're competing with these other teams because you have a quarterback, football perspective only, that is one of the very best in our game. Like, and just putting it out there, like let's put ourselves way before. Let's play a bunch of hypotheticals here just for a second as well. Like, Tua could have had, because I see some people are saying like, oh, Tua, and it's been happening on Twitter. He's gonna have a Hall of Fame career anywhere else, or he's gonna be great wherever. Listen, bro. Tua could have had the year that Justin Herbert had last year. If Deshaun Watson had no accusations, I still fucking trade for Deshaun Watson. It doesn't matter. Yep. Like, it does not matter how great you think Tua is going to be. That is all a hypothetical at this point. We want it to be something, but from where we are at right now, football only, Deshaun Watson is what Tua can be. Like, that's
a stretch. Even at Tua's best, I don't think he could be with Deshaun.
But that's why I'm,
but like at his peak, I don't think Tua will be what Deshaun Watson already is. Like as a football player,
you get what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm just because a football perspective, Deshaun Watson is insane. They think because, and I love this because they think because of how bad of a season the Texans had last year that Deshaun was not good. Deshaun Watson is incredible for what he does on the football field. Yep. He is what Dabo Swinney said in Michael Jordan. Like passing on him is passing on Michael Jordan. It's ridiculous to think from a football perspective that Tua is going to. I mean, that's aspirations and hopes that he gets to whatever Deshaun
and most
is
of the
right now.
people that are saying that they don't want to trade for Deshaun, I would honestly say 98 to 99% of those people aren't saying it because they think Tua or anybody
100%.
that we have is better than Deshaun. 100%. It is everything else going on.
It's the morality part, bro.
Nobody is naive enough to think,
It's hard to blame people who allowed what he's done or what he's accused of. Like, it's hard to blame them for using that as a reason not to want him on their team. Like, you have to understand, bro. If he's guilty of that, at least one case of that, then that is fucking disgusting, bro. It's appalling, bro. But you know what I mean? So I can't blame people who don't want him because of that. I just personally like.
But at the same time, the Dolphins are going to move as a business. Like,
to me, if the Dolphins make this decision, I understand it from a football perspective. But you gotta knock this thing out of the park, handling it from a PR situation.
They have.
But that's why they have to have done their research to know.
Yeah, no, and if they've done,
for me, they would have to show like this level of like rehabilitation with him, because no matter like how like,
and he has to show too. You can't be out there on boats posting pictures of yourself, hanging out. Like you gotta. I get everyone lives their life. Everyone can live their life the way they want to live their life. Sterling Shepard, Giants fan, like players, all that stuff, get all that crap for that freaking boat picture. Let people live their lives, but let's be real. Like he has to also button up.
If he comes back to the league, bro, he's going on a redemption tour to reclaim
just like
that
Mike
did
with the animals. Like he's going to have to do that. Like
and that's all I'm saying. Like. This is not like the Mike Vick situation.
I don't know for
Mike
sure,
Vick, right? No, because other people.
I mean,
like,
they're
Mike
both
horrible.
They're both horrible, though. What one did and what one has allegedly done are both horrible.
No, I'm not. To me, and this is what I'm saying. This is not single.
And to be fair, he was never indicted, and that never turned into anything. I'm not trying to make it okay, but. Like,
listen, this is not a
his stuff.
To me, it comes down to I think he's not taking this seriously enough. Right now, a year from now, if the 0.00001% chance that everything is fake and it all gets proven to be fake, he takes this all seriously. I will come back here and say that the Dolphins made the right decision. But guys, you have to play statistics at some point, and like, come on, that's not really. That many people. Look, Deshaun Watson is looking like he will be the quarterback on this team on Tuesday.
Yeah, bro. I just don't think it'll get to the point where he's indicted. Like personally,
no.
It's gonna get to that. And then I think we're splitting hairs in terms of what you think. Like if he does not get indicted, then it's going to be difficult for a lot of people who are crushing him to come back and say, okay, it's all fine, everything's all good. Like you will still always in the back of your mind think that he did whatever he was accused of, but he will not have any charges. The NFL will not have suspended him or punished him. And
this is something that has happened to numerous athletes across sports.
For sure, it all just kind of disappears after a while.
Ben Roethlisberger.
It just takes money.
Aaron Hernandez was quite literally committing crimes, but no one cared because he was a great tight end.
I just think look, it's weird, and I think all four of us can agree on this. Not one of the four of us probably really truly understands the situation as well as a female Dolphins fan would. And for myself personally, I would defer my opinion to them on this 100%. And we're all sitting here talking about this.
I defer to Kylie Ray Wing. Right. Shout out to Kylie. Like that's who I defer to.
Like we're all sitting here like, guys, it's okay. We just gotta win. Just go talk to them. See how they feel about it. Right. And people are gonna feel different ways about it too, and that's their opinion. That's fine. But I don't know.
We gotta end the show, bro. I'm gonna blow my brains out.
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. I've never seen more hypocritical bullshit in a chat that ever.
This is why we've never talked about it, because it gets crazy like this. It's a sticky situation. It's a horrible situation. And
let's talk about our week 4 picks. I know Kendall wasn't a part of that, but let's just talk about that.
No. I wanted to wrap it up. I wanted to wrap it up because
I'll just show them so people can
hold on. Well, yeah, just one sec. Juan won't be here to talk about him today because Juan's not here right now. We don't talk about him because it's a sticky situation and it's a bad situation. It's a horrible look for everyone involved. Okay. And it is awful if any of these things are true. But I'm saying this right now. If you think that he's going to join this team and everything's going to be peachy keen and absolutely fine because he wins games and then all this is just going to magically disappear, I think you're kidding yourself because this is going to be a story following him for at least the next year or two. So you want no drama. You want a team that just wins and everything's fine and everything's happy. He's not that guy. That's just the truth of it. Okay. So we're not going to talk about him again until probably next Tuesday when he's officially in our jersey. Hopefully not. I swear I'll be crying. I will cry. I will literally cry about it. Like if this is what it takes for this team to win, this kind of situation is what it takes for this team to win. Holy shit. We've been doing everything wrong for so long. So long. And it's going to eat me up inside. It's going to be the most conflicted I've ever felt after a win in my entire life. With that being said, though, I'm going to try my best to just forget about it. Week 4 picks. So we're picking every single game. Myself, Kai, Juan, and Royal each pick the winner for all the games that are happening here. Okay. So all of us look dead ass wrong on this Thursday night football game because the Jaguars are winning.
14.
Well, yeah.
Is it 14
better?
Okay, I didn't know the Bengals scored. My B.
It's okay.
Okay, so then we picked all the games here. We all agreed on Titans beating the Jets because all of us hate the Jets because the Jets are stupid and ugly and boo you. Let's see some that we disagreed on, and let's not talk about Juan. I was the only one that picked the Raiders against the Chargers. Guess I'm crazy.
No,
yeah,
you're letting that Dolphins game kind of like seep into your brain, and you can't get over it, bro. So you think you're overrating the Chargers?
I don't.
I mean, not the Chargers.
I mean, both teams are overrated. Let's be real.
Yeah, I think the Raiders. To me, I think the Raiders are more real than the Chargers. After 3 weeks, I think the Raiders are more real.
Maybe that's why both of them are frauds.
Because of the turnovers that the Chiefs committed in that last game, it was like, all right.
I think that Derek Carr on another team would be what Matthew Stafford is right now. Just putting that out there.
Well, Derek Carr
is that on his own team. Derek Carr.
But you get like I think that Derek Carr would lead a very good team somewhere if he wasn't on the Raiders. I've thought this for like the past few years. I was a Raiders fan technically, I guess, last year.
But also, let's not act like the Raiders don't have a crap ton of weapons.
I mean, yeah, but like the Raiders are the Raiders. They're the Raiders. They you know.
That's just like historical team luck that just seems to happen. But hey, we did disagree on that one.
We did agree on a lot, to be honest.
Royal, just talk me through what the hell is happening on Sunday Night Football, Doc?
Right. What?
Oh yeah, what you're picking the Patriots to beat the Buccaneers?
Yeah, I said this before. The beginning of the season. I believe that the Buccaneers are due for an inevitable like crash. I don't think that they are as good as last year, despite what I've seen the first 3 weeks. And this is pretty much me just sticking to my guns, like despite what my eyes have shown. I'm just going to ride this shit out until Tom Brady proves me wrong again. But I feel like it's going to come a time when that roster is going to.
What if it's against the Dolphins?
Bro, I don't care who it's against.
Well, they're going to lose against the Dolphins, bro.
If they do, it's Tom Brady. If they do, it's Tom Brady really, really getting screwed up.
I picked the Dolphins in that game, bro.
I know you guys are talking all about Thursday Night Football, but can I say I'm so frustrated with the Canes right now?
I wasn't going to bring it up.
Yeah, I know. We keep doing this thing, right, where we let them score super easily, and then it looks super like we're not going to come back. And then the Canes score a touchdown. It's like, what are we doing? Which one are we, guys? What are we doing?
Can they pass the ball to Jamar Chase?
Goodness gracious. What else did we disagree on? We disagreed on San Francisco, Seattle. I was the only one that picked San Francisco.
No.
Well, between the people here, right? Because Juan's not here.
Yeah.
Right. I think I'm hoping a little bit too much on George Kittle.
Kendall, what do you think? What do you think with these games, Kendall? Let's get your thoughts.
Who do you think is the most right, and why is it me?
All right. Before I commit to something that I'm not ready to commit to,
Kendall, remember who backed you up on the Jimmy stuff.
Hey, that is real. Honestly, I'm gonna be real because real. because the Patriots, and the division, I gotta say hell no. And because the Raiders are just the only ones picked there, I actually picked them in my Pick'ems league because they were the underdog. I'm gonna lean with the Raiders.
Say it.
The one thing that I don't like, Mike, is the Bears pick. Like that pick, I don't know. The Bears and Lions game, you might as well just close your eyes and throw the dart at the board at that point.
I just like
there's so much parity like in that.
Yeah. For me with the Bears, it's like at least I believe in their defense. I do believe in the Bears defense.
I mean, how can you not believe in the Lions defense after Charles Harris being
after their fight?
Rush.
Don't bring up that name.
My guy literally brought out Charles freaking Harris.
I saw a stat. He's like top 12 in pass rush rate when.
It only took him like 7 years.
Yeah,
Kendall, check your boy out, bro.
Hey.
No. I have that shirt too. I just didn't wear it. Kendall.
He got it too. He got it in pink.
No, I have it in white. Chill. I'm not weird.
Listen, Kendall got it in pink.
Y'all all wrong. Y'all are all wrong on the Rams pick for sure.
What?
Yeah, the Cardinals are gonna win because every team that has that big win that's like stapled, like, oh, we here now. Here comes that letdown.
Also,
the Rams are the best team in the league.
Wait, time out.
No, I agree.
You're not, bro.
You can't pick Juan for 2 reasons. One, he's not here. 2, he picked the Panthers. Come on,
bro.
You really saying we're all wrong on the Rams? I cannot.
Hey man, I just believe in like I have no like football reason why. It's just like once you play so well, like look at the Bengals. They just beat the Steelers. So it's like,
they're tied right now.
No, for sure. I just see that they tied, but they're still gonna lose to the Jags. Like it just is what it is. It's just
do
how
it,
football
Kendall.
works.
Say my name.
Who's the
you know who the winner is? You know who the winner is. Come on.
Damn, that's crazy. Bro, you pick the Vikings, bro.
Yeah.
Patrick Peterson and Breland are like the buffet.
Yeah, but they're playing listen. Baker Mayfield. They held that Seahawks team last week. Let's be real.
They're playing
like Tyler Lockett had been locking it up, and Tyler Lockett.
I have food waiting outside, and I want to go get it. Can we wrap the show up?
I'm anti-Baker, so that's
no. We can't wrap it up. We're going for another 20 minutes because on Tuesday I had food.
You had your food on your plate. Dog is different.
Oh yeah,
you could have just eaten it on mute. You stupid.
I'm gonna be real.
I did eat it on mute.
I gotta go with Michael because of that Raiders pick.
Damn.
I gotta go with because of that Raiders pick.
Yeah. What's up? Counselor Kings just got dethroned, son.
Hey, whoa.
No. Listen. All right. I got 26%. I got 26% in me, okay? I'm stepping in the game. Stupid. I'm stepping in straight up like Killmonger, okay?
Last week
he says he's got 26%.
Now you saying that
you say he's got 26%.
I'm stepping in.
My father is black, Mike. You say you
like
got 26%,
Killmonger,
bro.
All right, I'm coming in like I've been somewhere else, but I'm here now, and I win. That's what it is. Y'all remember that scene, right, where the camera turns upside down?
Hey, let me run the clip, bro.
Do I need to do this? Am I doing the thing right?
Let me run the clip.
Wait, I think we're good to go. You guys, we will be back on Sunday at 11:30 a.m. with Yard Prep. Kai will be hosting that, so we'll probably be more on schedule unless I decide to go nuts. I don't know. I just might. Kendall will not be there because Kendall will be at the game because Kendall is a season ticket holder, I believe.
35-0 introduction to the season. So I am,
If the Dolphins get blown out again, blame Kendall because he was the only one there for both of the losses this season. Kendall, I feel bad now. I said something bad about you, even though you picked me as a winner. God, I forgot I liked you. Okay. Like I said, we'll be back Sunday. Don't forget to check out Thrive Fantasy. Kai, play the clip and get us the fuck out of here.